Right, it is 5:42 now in the afternoon. I'm here now on Powell and Market. Just visited my friend Joseph. Before that I was at the library for about 2 hours after I needed these recordings about the United Nations Plaza. United Nations, United People, it's all about, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. That's good. But I didn't upload the videos because I couldn't, so I probably will do this tomorrow. I will see. But yeah, it's a very, very powerful awareness. What that is truth, and how to not only to realize truth for ourselves, our own truths, the truths of others, but really put that into practice. That's the key. I had an interesting scene. I was at Burger King. I must have something to eat. And there was this guy complaining and saying, I'm going to want to talk to your manager about saying, you've ignored me, I came here several times and blah, blah, blah. And he was just, you know, we're causing a lot of problems. And after a while I said, just, you know, life's too short, you know, why are you angry? You know, he's just trying to do his work. And then I said at one point, he's just projecting, because he was, you know, ultimately when people complain about others, not negative, they're projecting something. We all do that. Well, without that, you know, we would only see love. We would only be in love with others, and in unity, in union, in community, according to our common unity. No doubt about that. And that's for us to realize, you know, that we are all one. I mean, there is this hurt. People know about that. You know, ultimately we are all one. You know, consciousness is, you know, the realization there is that we are God. We are our own God. Like I'm my own God, I'm not your God, but I am in my own right, for myself, the master of my own creation, or the God of my own creation. Oops, sorry. Yep, absolutely, no doubt about that. And like I'm creating these little, you know, these live video pieces here, with my commentary, which I hope you find interesting somehow. But yeah, because ultimately it is about, and this helps me greatly to realize myself more. By speaking. And I've learned actually, you know, I'm the kind of individual, the way when I talk, I think. And I realize things. Because I'm a very, very quick talker and quick thinker. You might have noticed that. But that's just me, and I've realized that. And through my own past, I've come to that realization of who I am, and how I tick, how I work. Right. But see, the thing is, again, you know, when it comes to people, even though I talk about people, I learn about people, to really, yeah, you know, to be with them on a personal level, to develop a relationship, communicate. Especially when it comes to women. Wow. Well, I've been only with 2 women in my life, actually. The first one I was married to for 12 years. You probably heard me mention that before. Don't mean to bore you with that, but yeah, that's been my experience. You know, I was very shy as a child, very immature, very insecure. I didn't like people. Very, very interesting. Those things that have changed, you know, and what doors open up for me, and what things I was confronted with to really learn the lessons. You know, that ultimately, wow, in Germany I didn't, again, not only not like people, I think I didn't need anybody. I was better than others. My mother always said before I left Germany, Christoph, you know, we need one another. We need each other. People need people. You definitely come to find that. No doubt about that. We all need to relate and share. We're here for that. And to help one another and to work together. No doubt about that. And it's definitely an issue, you know, I'm going to talk about that. I've been really confronted with that when I was homeless, when I stayed in a shelter, right? And the homeless situation, especially in San Francisco, is quite dramatic. You cannot really walk for, you know, without being asked by somebody for money. And that's really a mentality I've come to find. No doubt, like, you know, I'm homeless, you need to give me money to, like, do whatever. And people are not being busy, people are not getting involved to change anything. They're basically, they say every day, you know, they're doing nothing. And asking for people to give them money. They're professional beggars. You know, it's not I know, very nice thing to say. But see, beyond that, I see the person. I feel for people like it. People, for example, who sleep outside, don't have a place to be. It's tough. And when you end up there, but especially all people, of course, you know, who end up in a situation like this, be it homeless or whatever, is there because of what happened to them and how they dealt with it or didn't deal with it. And so what I really like to do, I like to help that situation by really communicating with people and bringing people together. Homeless people, absolutely, doing some study groups, no doubt. I've come to find when I stayed in a shelter, when I first stayed in a shelter in Kansas, how people are starved for intellectual conversation, for dialogue, for attention. And that's the problem when people don't have anybody there. They talk to themselves and they totally go crazy, go nuts. And they stay within their own dysfunctional patterns and nothing ever changes. And nobody's communicating with them. That's why communication, community, these words are very similar for a reason. And it's about what's common. It's about in a way, in a language we can understand, and we learn to develop that as we learn to communicate with one another. And if certain things I'm saying do not make sense to you, please do not hesitate to ask. I know that I speak my own very unique language, and sometimes I can get carried away and, you know, being very general, and people lose track of what really I meant. And ultimately also in my role as teacher of learning, I've come to find, and I mentioned that before, that this is a very interactive process of learning, which is a matter of you asking questions and you becoming involved in that process. That's the key. Kind of, be like this. Enlightenment, be at peace, at ease. And if you learn to let go of our need to hold on to things, you know, to be right, to get our needs met, me. If you learn to open ourselves to other people, will, everything will change in an amazing way. Our own personal transformation will begin slowly, naturally, our own evolution. Let's begin on that process. I already have begun a long time ago. I'm sure so have you. You might not realize that, but whatever it is you want to realize, whatever it is you want to learn, whatever it is you want to change, you can, about yourself, about your life. And the secret, when it talks about the law of attraction, how to put that into action, and by what that means, really what we want for ourselves, and what steps we need to take in order to, manifest that in our own lives, according to what we want for ourselves. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. We'd love to hear from you as always. Hope you are well. And in Union Square, 6 o'clock, San Francisco, the 12th of April. It's over now, and I will definitely do more recordings tomorrow, as I will go home now and upload those recordings. And again, there's always more where that came from. But tell me really how what you think about that and what you want. Because this is not about me rambling on. This is about me becoming specific as I'm at the beginning of building my practice. And to me, this is second nature. I could teach a workshop without even preparing. And doing this would develop the structure, what people really would understand. But really, when it comes to writing it down and being really organized at this point, it's difficult for me. So, I really would appreciate your help with that. Absolutely. You might have heard me talk about this before, And definitely, I'm also into the idea of bartering services, exchanging services. No doubt. So anyway, we'll speak soon. Again, thanks for being here. San Francisco, Nike Town, and Johnston and Murphy. I say goodbye right now. Ciao, ciao.